I just don't get this guy, man. I don't get him, and he's increasingly becoming the most unlikable motherfucker, or at least one of the most unlikable motherfuckers that I've ever seen in NBA in the NBA. There's just so much to dislike about this guy. First of all, he's an asshole. Okay, um, it's fucked up what he. I know you don't really supposed to. I don't really usually talk about off the court shit, man. But if you, I'll just say this: if you Google Roy Hibbert and you Google Doc Rivers' daughter, you'll see what I'm talking about with this scumbag ass motherfucker, right? Secondly, he always has a. He's such a fucking narcissist. He's such a fucking narcissist who always has excuses for his poor play. I'm not being used correctly. It's the officiating wasn't in our favor. We needed more foul calls. I usually shoot more free throws than this. Shut the fuck up. How about you be more consistent? Here's the epitome. Look, Chris Middleton gets on my fucking nerves too. But Chris Middleton's not a real all-star. He's not. You know what I'm saying? He can put up all-star type numbers at times. Yes. But he's not a real all-star. He's not. You know why Tony Kukoc is in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion? Aside from his international numbers and his international achievements, his achievements overseas. I remember Tony Kukoc in games when we needed him. Yes, he was coming off the bench. Yes, his numbers don't blow you away. But I remember Tony Kukoc when we needed this motherfucker, he would come through and hit some of the biggest shots. If it were not for him, the Bulls wouldn't have won any of those fucking championships, especially the last one. Matter of fact, I think Tony was more clutch than Pippen. If you really look back at it in critical games, I'm talking about the second repeat. Yeah, the numbers don't blow you away. 13 points a game, 14 points a game for Kukoc, even though Jordan was taking 20 some shots and Pippen was taking 15. There weren't that many shots to go around, you know. But Kukoc would deliver and was clutch. This motherfucker, he puts up a lot of big numbers. He puts up a lot of big regular season numbers. But when you need him, you never know he's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Yeah, mama, you never know what you're gonna get. This dude, man, god damn. And then it's not, look, everybody has bad games, okay? You're gonna have bad shooting nights, especially the deeper you go in the playoffs. You're gonna have bad shooting nights. It happens a lot, actually. But even guys who are great players that have bad shooting nights, the stat line doesn't look great, but they still oftentimes will themselves to make critical shots and make critical plays when it matters. If they're not scoring the basketball, they're not hitting shots, they get to the foul line. Okay? They stop, they abandon the outside shot, try to take it to the basket, get to the foul line. A lot of times, guys shooting free throws, they see the ball go in, they start getting a rhythm. If your shot's not falling, work on other aspects of the game. Start crashing the fucking boards. Start, working on your playmaking ability if you have that. Work on, if nothing else fails, amp up your defense. Do something other than just yakking up shots and complaining to the officiating. Complaining about the officiating. But just yakking up fucking and then it's not like this guy is being doubled and tripled. This dude misses wide open shots. Wide open fucking shots. Wide open. And sometimes bricks them horribly. That shit that I saw last year in game 7 against the Denver Nuggets with him. Now Kawhi shot bad too, but Paul George, my God, man. I just I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Well, yes, I do get it. This is a man who cannot handle pressure. And the pressure gets to him and his throat gets tight. His throat gets tight. His esophagus starts, spasming and shit. His palms get sweaty. You know what I'm saying? The inner part of his ear start itching and shit. His anxiety grows and everything gets tight on him. And, he's overthinking. And, I don't know, man. All I know is if Paul George doesn't come through in this series, I'm not saying he has to be Super Paul, but just be average. Because look, they only lost by 3 points. The Clippers are clearly the better team. They're clearly the better team, matchup wise. But if Paul George doesn't come through, ladies and gentlemen, the Clippers are going to lose in the second round again. Okay? And they're not just going to they're not going to really blame Paul George. They're going to blame Kawhi Leonard. Okay? That's just what's the reality of the situation. And, you know, this is going to validate this supposed Clippers curse where they can't get out of the second round of playoffs. They need this for their psyche, man. They need to get out of the fucking second round of playoffs just to get this monkey off their back. I mean, that. Also, you can't keep having one guy. Now, this is just Tyronn Lue and the Clippers. You can't keep having one guy just keep destroying you like this. We saw this with Luka averaging 35 and 10 in the first round. Now you got Donovan Mitchell going off for 45 a game. Uh, you can't keep having one fucking dude just go off like this. And the Clippers supposed to have been this defensive juggernaut. But that's all I gotta say, man. Paul George needs to step up. Even though I kind of in the back of my head feel like he's not going to, because he's fucking Paul George. Okay, and until we see him being more consistent, we could just expect more of this shit. You know, but we'll see. Tell me what you guys think.